Howie Vision. Howie Vision. I've had more people text me now in the last 2 hours since this Dotson deal went down. What do you make of it? What do you make of this Dotson deal? By the way, do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We always start the program out, though, with the legendary call, Big Silz, here on the National Football Show, and I will give you, without a doubt, truth, justice, and the Big Silz way. 2 weeks out from Packers and Eagles. Shit, Kansas City, too. Baltimore right around the corner. And today, the Eagles make a deal. Jahan Dotson from Penn State, who was the 16th player taken a few years ago. Make no mistake about it. I think this is a really great deal. By the way, the Big Silz Show, National Football Show, and on top of that, JAKIB Sports, we're all powered by BetUS. We implore you to go on the website. This is your betting house for the upcoming NFL season. So we appreciate those guys and their support, and we appreciate, obviously, your support. So let me give you my initial takeaway. This is a perfect number 3. Okay? He averaged 15 yards a catch his rookie year, had 7 touchdowns. Not quite as good a year ago, but I think you had a lot of influx with the organization as well. With Daniel Snyder selling the team, with Sam Howell the guy. Let's not forget in week 8. Am I right, guys, when I say this? In week 8 of last year, he had 8 catches for 108 in a TD. Does that sound right? 110? Something like that? 108, 8 catches, right? I thought he had a touchdown in that game. So this is a great number 3. I'll tell you if it changes my opinion of the team here in a minute. But look, Terry McLaurin is going to get the majority of the targets. Make no mistake about that. You know, and supposedly he hadn't had a great camp these last couple days. And since camp started, he hasn't had a great camp. Well, that being said, I think you're trying to break in a brand new quarterback. But on top of that, you got to question what Washington's doing. You take a talented kid away like that from Jaden Daniels. Aren't you trying to acquire as many assets as you possibly can? You know, I mean, that deal's pretty peculiar. And you're in division. You're doing it. It's pretty peculiar on this deal here. I mean, you know, it's kind of odd to see something like this happen in division, and we are just a couple weeks out from the start of the season. Jahan Dotson, Eagles get a 5th rounder in 25. They surrendered to Washington a 3rd-round pick and 2 7th rounders in 2025. Is that a lot for him? No. I don't think that's a lot. I think that's a good deal for both teams. Commanders might use our picks to help get Ayuk. Great take. Great take, Nick. Great take. To put Brandon Ayuk on the other side of Terry McLaurin is a smart-ass move. It's a smart-ass move. I like that. Or could it be that they're trying to deal potentially with Cincinnati with Jamar Chase? I doubt that Jamar Chase is being moved. Okay, so Washington might be, like you said, Nick. Nick, I think that's an outstanding take here. But let me get to the Eagles part of this. You know, once again, the emphasis on addressing the offensive side of the football is no question a major priority in that organization. Is this a good deal? Yes. Is it a fair deal for both teams? Who got the better end of this? Yet to be determined. Quite frankly, Pittsburgh got the best end of the Kenny Pickett deal so far. Okay? Peyton Wilson's a starter. And Kenny Pickett, in my opinion, will never be a starter again. I think Pittsburgh, as of right now, we'll see how Wilson plays, got the better end of it. But for them to have him in the 3-hole, boy, they addressed a ton of shit on that side of the football. Contract extensions, player additions, Barkley, now Dotson. Has it moved the meter for me? No. You still haven't addressed your defense. Is your offense with more prolific tools? Yeah. Yes. Is it a good deal? Yes. Was it a needed deal? More so than a linebacker or edge rusher? No way. No way. Now, Dotson is not a frontline dude. Okay? Not a frontline dude. Hey, Filthy, he's a starter for the Steelers who drafted him in the NFL draft in April. He's a starter. He'll be starting week 1. That's who he is. Nels goes best wide receiving core in the league, Silz. Let's not overvalue Dotson, but in the role he's being put in, he could be one of the top 3 guys in the league. Top wide receiver 3 in the league. Okay? Prince says they're building the defense through the draft. Takes more time. You have not changed the meter for me in any way whatsoever with this Dotson deal because you haven't addressed your defense. And if we're going to go with what Prince says, at the end of the day, bottom line, takes more time in the draft, more time to develop. It takes a defense more time to gel. Okay? Get this here. Let's see what this guy says. For sure, you're a hater. What people expect for you, you're a joke. Why? Because you didn't address the side of the football that I think you're deficient on, and you keep addressing the side of the football where you're great on. What's the problem? I mean, hey, guy, just telling the truth the way I see it. Have you made your offense even better? Yeah. Well, you're not going to win with one-sided ball, I don't think. I've never seen it. Commanders might be going after Ayuk or CeeDee Lamb. I doubt Dallas trades. But then again, Washington just traded Dotson in division. I think those moves are going to become more prevalent in today's NFL, especially with wide receivers. Isn't it funny how these wide receivers get moved around? Silz, I would have made a trade for an edge for the Eagles. Yeah. You've not moved the meter for me with your team in any way whatsoever. It can be a good deal. Is he the best? Is he a really good number 3 on that team? Yeah. Is he going to improve the offense and help the offense? Probably, yeah. Is he going to help your defense? Maybe a little. Time of possession, another weapon, another option. I'm not moved in any way except for this. Nice deal for a number 3. That's all. I mean, I'm not moving off at 9-8 because you added Dotson. Ayuk 2 Commanders gets us closer to a Super Bowl with NFC Championship versus San Francisco. Tell you what, you put Ayuk on the other side of Terry McLaurin, that's a hell of an offensive firepower there yourself. And then again, this all comes down to Jaden Daniels. Eagles adding firepower. NFL wants more flash. It's true, Q. The Eagles are doing what the NFL wants. NFL removing the teeth of defenses with new rules and policies. Very true. It's a great take, Q. You're right. Here goes negative sales. I fucking love it. Y'all hit the like button for negative. What has changed? Hey, Big Marshall, what has changed your football team by adding Dotson? That's changed your defense? Give me a break, dude. It's a good deal. It's a great addition. It doesn't change your defense and the problems you have over there. It does not do any of that. Holy shit. It's not negative. It's reality. This does limit Howie to continue to go after a linebacker or edge. I expect him to do more or go mercenary route by the deadline. He'll go mercenary. Not going to put any money on that side of the ball. Need wide receiver depth. Absolutely. If one of the guys goes down, you've got a capable guy of picking up the mail for Devontae or for AJ. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I mentioned it the other day, Silz. If Jalen and Jordan improve this season, the defense will be fine. You said we didn't have a guy at the 3. Hey, Prince, I didn't say it's a bad deal. I said it's a great deal. Getting Dotson into the offense is a great deal. It hasn't changed my opinion of your football team, though. Has it changed my opinion of your offense? Kind of. You added another really good player. Okay. You haven't added it to the side of the ball with all the question marks. There is no question marks on offense. There wasn't any question marks prior to Dotson being added on offense. Health, maybe. Going 9-8. Hey, Big Trag, you do not, I got it, Xander. You do not have a Super Bowl defense. I don't give a shit what you think. And you know it. You know it. Hey, two things can be true. It's a good deal. Holy shit. Are you guys fucking nuts? Jahan Dotson can't play safety. He can't play linebacker. He's not an edge rusher. Those question marks on August 21st are still here August 22nd. Holy shit. What are you talking about here? What changed? You added a number 3 receiver? Let's pump the brakes. Once again, I can't stand that I have to be so fucking soft to you fuckers sometimes that it drives me nuts to make you feel better around yourself to get a reach around. It's a good deal. Does it move the meter on your team? No. No. Two things can be true. You improve your offense. Yes, because you improve 3-hole. Yes. Do you improve your team? No. I mean, holy shit. Let's be candid here and let's have some common sense here. Okay? I don't disagree with you, Silz. I now see the vision. The front office is going to build the defense through the draft, which takes time to maintain financial stability on the offensive side. So you're robbing Peter financially to pay Paul. Prince is saying this. One side of the ball, they're going to try to build stability through the draft. That ain't a one-year fix. You got to hope every one of those rookies hit. Not happening. One may hit this year. One may hit next year. Look at your boy, Nakobe Dean. It's taken him 3 years to look halfway decent on a football field. Just go by common sense. It's taken Jordan Davis 2 years to look halfway decent. Name me a fucking guy you drafted over there that hasn't taken some. Nolan Smith still hasn't showed up. He still hasn't. Every one of those guys on that side of the ball you drafted has not hit as a rookie. Carter a little bit a year ago. He's ahead of the game. He's ahead of the game. Okay? Every other one of those guys is taking 2-3 years. Okay, that's the point. Nolan Smith's in his second year. Correct. Okay. Well, we haven't seen shit yet from the guy. This guy, hey, get this. I'm a hater for speaking the truth. Here's a guy that doesn't like the truth. He wants to hear fucking people cheering shit that's not true. Not here. I don't disagree with you, but I think the Eagles relying. Okay, let's get to the topic. Eagle all day? I'm not sure you're wrong. I'm not sure you're wrong here. Once again, so that some of you, like Dave Chappelle said, so that you can feel better about yourselves, I'll do it one more time. Holy cow. Talk about weakness. It's a really good deal for the Eagles. He's a good player who could be an even better player with a better quarterback. Sam Howell is not that great. Okay? He was good against the Eagles. Well, that's not hard because when you play that center field defense, everyone's going to have a field day. He threw for almost 800 yards last year, Sam Howell. Silz, the only issue I have with this trade is the third-round pick is available, Chip. It is. Third round's a big number. That could be used for edge or linebacker. It smells like the picket for the third, which was used for a starting linebacker and a need. That's what Pittsburgh did by getting Wilson, correct? Okay, Pittsburgh used that 3 and got Wilson. So you're right, okay? They took Kenny Pickett. Get this, what they did with Pickett. Pickett, yes, was a number 1 overall draft choice, or a first rounder, I should say. And what did the Steelers do? They knew they weren't going to get the value in return, so you know what they did? They drafted a starter. Shit, that's covering it, as far as I'm concerned. That's covering it. You drafted a starter. Kenny Pickett brought a starter in. It's a pretty good move by Pittsburgh. Okay? It's almost like Roseman, Laurie are testing whether they can win with half a team. Sam, that's the topic today. That's the topic. Let me get to the topic page. It's a great take, Sam. Please hit the like button, guys. Okay? Andreas could be right. Between the Packers and the Eagles, hey, Andreas, that thing could look like a 4x100 relay at the Olympic Games. Seriously, that could look, you could basically see 40 points by both teams in that game, September 6th. Yes, I could see that. Okay, I can see that. Before I get to the topic, I'm going to get to some of your takes because you guys are thinking a lot like I am now. Great. Maybe a little too harsh on some of you here, but okay. These fans think we're just going to outscore everyone. Like, offense will have a bad game and defense is going to have to help win a game. Defense can't stop anyone right now. It stinks. Well, let's see it get on the field a little bit. By the way, today, Xander Krause at 3:30 and Merrill Reese, the legendary golden voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, will join us at 4:30. He is always so kind to do that. Silz, with the Dotson trade, who's the odd man out in the wide receiver room? That kid Smith. I'll dump his ass. I wouldn't be shocked by tomorrow or whenever cutdown day is. He's out. Wilson will be probably the 4th guy. No, Paris Campbell will. Those other 2 guys will probably the kid from FSU probably make the active squad. He'll probably make the active 53. Here, get this. Dan, do you really believe that defenses still win championships? Ask Kansas City. Kansas City last year was led by their defense. And Mahomes led them back in the Super Bowl in the overtime. Kansas City Chiefs were run by defense last year. They won the Super Bowl because of their defense. and how good they were defensively. Yeah, I do. Kansas City's a prime example of it. Got the best coordinator, and they had the best run at the end. And the Kansas City defense kept them afloat while they were losing still to people like the Raiders. Kansas City last year was a defensive football team. It was a defensive football team. Guys, hit the like button. Guys, bring a great point up here. Okay? Hey, Mr. International goes, I believe in Vic. No, Vic's not the guy you got to believe in. Did Howie put enough good people on that side of the ball? Yes or no? Did he put enough good people on that side of the ball? Very simple. Okay? Senor, my panties aren't in a bunch. The only thing that gets me in a bunch sometimes is the unrealistic conversations that you have about your fucking team. It's crazy. Silz, there have been teams to win the Super Bowl with bad defenses. 2011 Giants. Yeah, but here's the deal. Once again, Greg, statistically, when you put those numbers up like that, how well were they playing in the postseason? How well were they playing at the end of the year? You can have the Eagles this year could have the 20th ranked defense heading into December. But if they have teams where they're holding them under 275 yards the final month of the season, that's not a 25th ranked defense. That's exactly what happened to Kansas City 2 years ago when they were facing you in the Super Bowl. They started out rough, and by the end of the year, they had gathered themselves and got better. Numbers, hey, how about this? Shit, man, you guys were 4th or 2nd or number 1 in stopping the run at the beginning. This is the greatest that I could tell you example. Last year, you guys were number 1 stopping the run, right? Number 1. For how long? 10 weeks? Where did that number end up? By the end of the year, you were surrendering 138 yards a game. I mean, you weren't really the 4th best run defense or the best run defense in the league. It really goes in stages on how a team performs. First quarter poll, second quarter poll, third quarter poll, fourth quarter poll. I see Philly 500 in here. Hey, dude, end of the day, this doesn't change my objective thoughts on the team so far with the defense. Hey, is it a good deal, one more time, to make everybody feel good about themselves? It's a really good addition in the 3-hole with a kid I actually like. And I don't know what happened in Washington. I want to hear more of why they dealt him. He was a 16th player. He was a 16th player taken. And personally, I mean, 7 touchdowns, average 15 yards a catch his rookie year. That's not horrible. I think he actually had a better, not yardage-wise, but I think he had more touchdowns in his rookie year than what Devontae did in his rookie year. And I think he averaged more yards per catch his rookie year. And you got Terry McLaurin, and you don't have Hurts. You have Sam Howell, and back then I think you had Jacoby Brissett and some other dudes that were there in Washington. I think he's a good player. I don't dislike the deal. Again, though, it hasn't changed the room for me when it comes to your defense. Same questions existed on August 21st that they do on August 22nd. Will you be able to stop anybody? How about this? Like I said, too, one thing that's for sure, if you have 3 and outs and you put that defense in a poor position against Green Bay will put 21 on you. Your offense is going to have to. Let's get to the topic here, because you guys have brought a good point up. Hit the like button, please. We appreciate it. The Eagles acquire Jahan Dotson, wide receiver. And there's no question the defense still has not been addressed in any way. Now, could something still happen at a Dotson level? Yeah. They got the cap space. I don't know how much equity they're going to give away. Now, they did a lot of trading in the draft. Okay? They do. Wait, you think we're only going to win 8. I said 9 games. I said 9 and 8 because of the defense. Yes, we won 11 last year with an even worse defense. Who says you're better than last year's defense? That's an assumption, Prince. Prince is assuming he's better than a year ago. You're assuming that. That's not fact. You're assuming that. You're assuming that you're better now. That's an assumption. I'm going by what you've done and who you are. And once again, if you're going to build, like Prince says, your defense through the draft, that's a 2-3 year process. Kobe Dean's in his 3rd year. He's finally starting to look like something, maybe. Jordan Davis kind of has gone up and down. You really don't know what he is yet. He looks like a good player. Is he a great player? I don't know. No, and Dan's assuming that we are the worst. No, I'm assuming who you are until otherwise proven. You don't get the fucking benefit of the doubt. Why do you want the benefit of the doubt? How do you erase what you are? You're inexperienced and you haven't addressed really a lot over there on defense. Dude, the Jahan Dotson deal doesn't make you a Super Bowl contender. It makes your offense fantastic. And here, can you win a Super Bowl with a one-sided football team? Yes or no? You think that Jalen Hurts can throw his football team out of trouble if that team in any way has a couple 3-and-outs in a ball game and you're playing against Joe Burrow or you're playing against Lamar or you're playing against Jordan Love or any of those quarterbacks that are going to rip you a new one because of that weak-ass zone defense and too high safety? You think really I saw average quarterbacks have high percentage completions against that style of defense in 22. Your Super Bowl year. Okay? 10 or more wins. You wear a Hurts jersey, or I'll drop 100. Okay. What realistic defense move can be made right now, in your opinion, to change your mind with the cap space we have? Good question. Good question. Let me see here. What did I see? Did I see Philly 500 in here? He had a question. Marshall goes like this. Silz, what move can be made? I just saw Carolina make a deal with Seattle, I think, on a linebacker. What could be made right now? Hey, dude, I'd call Cincinnati up. What are you going to do with Hendrickson? I'd also call up the Chargers. What are you going to do with Bosa? You need an edge rusher. I'm not sold that Huff and Nolan Smith are going to deliver. I'm not. I'm just not. Well, Silz, I'm not ready to write him off. I'm not ready to write him in off of 1 year. Dude, I'm not giving a guy $50 million because he had a season. And the rest of the other 5 seasons or 4 seasons were marginal, below marginal. I mean, you talk about what ifs. Howie Roseman's the biggest what if. He paid a guy $51 million off of a 1-season effort. That's what if. That's not stability. Please hit the like button, guys. By the way, I guess I don't mind saying it because new people are coming in and out. It's not a bad deal. It's a really good deal. It's okay to be excited with a new front door, knowing that you still have to replace the shutters and siding. It's the point people are making. Look, you're dressing up the wrong side of your house, though. I mean, you're addressing and you're basically doing one side of the house. You're fixing the floor and the roof leaks. That's what you're doing. You're fixing the floor, but the roof leaks. I mean, okay. Silz, Do we have better coaching than we did last season? It seems. Yes. Yes. Hey, dude, Prince, did not Vic Fangio tell you at a press conference the other day, we'll know how good we are by week 10? And what did he say when he was at that golf tournament? Schemes don't make great defenses, players do. We'll know by week 10 or 12, he said. That's your coordinator talking, not Big Silz talking. How come you believe him? And he says the same shit I'm saying. How in the world can that be? He says the same shit I say. He almost echoes everything I'm saying. Let's see here. Dan, what concerns me is if the Packers are running at will, and that will open things up like crazy for Love. Run defense again. Dude, if the Packers get a run offense going, which I don't think they will early, I don't believe that. I think they're going to have a short passing game. And I think they're going to have tight end play and Josh Jacobs catching the ball because those linebackers will not be able to cover them. Okay? And I think they're going to get a lot of offense, the Packers, out of the slot because you don't have anybody who can cover. So, I mean, Gardner Johnson's not even that great of a cover slot corner. He's not. Slot safety. He's not. Okay, so I think they're going to get a lot out of the slot. And then let's see, then in the second half, if Jacobs can loosen it up a little bit. Silz, how would you like to be a defensive coordinator to scheme this offense? The number one thing, in my opinion, it's a great take. And to scheme this offense, well, how do you scheme this offense? How do you scheme something like when you have multiple players here? And here, I'm going to say this. So now that Jalen has all these talented guys, we're going to talk a little bit about expectations now for everyone. Hey, dude, there's only one football. Hurts has struggled reading defenses in his career. Is he going to he couldn't even get the ball barely to the tight end. Number 3 wide receiver was a joke. Now, the RPO offense was completely different. Last year's offense was too basic. Now you have a more complex offense. A lot of motion, a lot of false motion. You hear more talking. Doesn't really say a ton, but he kind of gives you the direction of what he wants to do. Is Hurts going to be able to get the football to all these guys? And really, the question will come down. Can you win with one side of the football as the other? Hey, how about this? I'll concede this point. Guys, please hit the like button. I'll concede this point. Hey, will you guys have a good defense one day? Yeah. Let's go here. Yeah, you will. How long is it till that one day? Vic has already asked for week 12 before we know. He was asked the question in his last press conference. Go back and watch it. How well will you know? Do you feel more comfortable now with the guys on what you've seen? He goes, it's too early to ask that. Ask me week 12 or week 10 or week 12, and I'll let you know then. Well, fuck, he's saying the same shit I am. He's saying the same thing. Excuse me, greatest show on turf. You do not have a passer like Kurt Warner. That ain't it. Okay? That ain't it. If this season falls apart, which it probably will, who's to blame? Cobra. It's August 22nd. You made a really good deal. The team falling apart is something that you're kind of like suggesting that this is inevitable to doom. I don't know. Last year was doom and they won, to Prince's point, 11 games. Okay? You won 11 games, and it was a horrible season. Do you know how many teams like the Jets would kill to have 11 wins and have a shitty season? I mean, that's insanity. So you start at that bench part and that benchmark. It's pretty impressive. And you know what? Maybe I don't say that enough. Hey, Silz, I know we weren't good, but we did win 11 games. We won as many games as the Kansas City Chiefs did a year ago. Think about that. You guys won as many games as the Chiefs in the regular season. And that's where you kind of start at. And was the defense good? Hey, get this. The defense wasn't good because you guys are blaming coaching. Okay. Well, you don't have an elite pass rusher like you did a year ago with Reddick. You're hoping you do. Last year you had one. Last year you had, you know what you also had? You had a safety net and what? Case Davis and Carter kind of fell apart a little bit. You had Fletcher in the middle, 6.5 sacks. He was your best defensive interior tackle all year long. If you go all across the 17-game season, Carter was great all the way up until week 10. And then Fletcher was the most consistent player throughout the entire week. Silz ignoring recent history to fill a negative narrative. What is that? What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, you hear what you want to hear, honestly. I mean, people listen to me and they hear things they want to hear. I'm not ripping anything. I'm telling you right now on August 22nd, I have the same opinion about your football team that I did on August 21st. No, nothing's changed. Now, Silz, the addition of Dotson, you think that adds a nice piece to the number 3 hole? Absolutely. Is it a good trade? It's a good trade for both. Yes. Was that a major need? Absolutely not. Hey, how many people believe you could have went into the 2024 season with Paris Campbell and Ben Cool? You guys have been telling me it's the best offense in the league. So you were cool with it yesterday. All of a sudden now, that puts you over the top? It doesn't. You're not a balanced roster. It can. Well, I can't believe how many people in here have to make themselves feel good about themselves. There's nothing wrong with saying both things are right. Okay? It's a good deal. But the team hasn't been improved across the board. Well, Silz, wait a minute. Adding a player like that doesn't improve the team? You win Super Bowls with 3 phases of football: special teams, defense, and offense. Okay? Silz, now, if you're asking me, did it improve the offense? Absolutely. Can you win with one-sided football? I don't think so. Kansas City stopped Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. They stopped him. Prince, we lack coaching, communication, and discipline in 23. Of course, the players, no accountability at all. None. So they fold their tent too. Okay, no problem. All right, including Hurts. Okay, Eduardo. I don't think this is a bad take right here. We just need top 15 to 18 defense and we're good. Yeah, you're right. If you go from being down at the bottom where you were, and all of a sudden you climb back up, and you're in that 15, 16 range in the middle of the pack, you're going to go a long way. Get this. The climb for you is not that high. Can't get any worse than it was a year ago. Your defense was a train wreck, especially in the second half of the year. And that was because of the overrated Patricia. I mean, you went from second in pass defense to 31st. I've never seen a cliff dive like that unless there were major injuries. And you didn't have major injuries at your corner position. The only thing that was different was pressure. Folks, the key to your football team this year is not going to be the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be, do you get to the quarterback? Are you putting pressure like you did in 22 on the quarterback? Hurts's numbers weren't spectacular in 22. He had no turnovers. He was a dual threat weapon. But the factor was that defense put iconic numbers up. Second most sacks in pro football history. Most hits on the quarterback. The hurries you had. The turnovers with Gardner Johnson you had. That was the difference. Also, between 23 and 22 was that defense made plays. They showed up and made plays. Top 10 defense, no question. Okay, sure. Not in a billion years. Not in a billion years. With what? Worst linebacking core in the league? Seriously. This guy thinks you're going to have a top 10 defense with the worst linebackers in pro football as a group. And you're telling me that Trotter's going to start or that Devin White is going to come off, whatever. I agree with John McMullen on one point here. You know what that is? Elite linebackers don't get one-year prove-it deals for $3 million. Name a better roster than the Eagles' next 4 years under contract. Next 4 years? Well, I don't know what you guys have on defense yet. How do you know Quinyon Mitchell's going to be an elite wide cover corner? How do you know that Cooper DeJean's going to be a good player? How do you know Eli Ricks is going to be a great player? How do you know that Nakobe Dean's going to be a good player? How do you know that Nolan Smith? For you to say that, it's projecting. You don't have improved Dick over there yet. You have not proven anything. Detroit. There you go. Fly. Detroit's got a better roster. And went to the NFC title game with all first or second year guys. They're loaded over there, all young dudes who are on their first rookie contracts. And then you got golf. I don't know. I still can't believe I say that guy is putting up top 10 numbers. It's insane what he does. I don't like the guy. But you can't ignore his resume at all. Hey, J-Rock, do you have somebody on your football team in the Hayden Hutchinson role? Do you have anybody on your team in that Jack Campbell role, that linebacker? Do you have anybody that's in what the Eagles? Now, I don't really think that the Lions are that exceptionally gifted in the secondary. I don't. They got the best O-line in football. Pretty good tandem of running backs. They got a great tight end. And they got pretty good wide receivers there. It's a roster across the board. You got the best offense, no question. Your defense, we'll see. We'll see. Silz, do the Lions have a Jalen Carter? No, they don't. But once again, we'll see if Jalen Carter can play 17 games. You're crazy if you compare apples to apples and think Detroit has a better roster, but at this point, here, I'll say this to you, dude. I don't know what that means. Detroit last year went to the NFC title game. They're a pretty good football team. Interior pressure matters. You had none last year. I mean, not like you did in 22. Hargrave had 11 sacks. Silz is a Vic doubter. No, I actually, unfortunately, talk like Vic does, and you can't handle. None of you could be coached by Vic. Not one of you in here could be coached by Vic Fangio because you can't handle being told who you are. Vic Fangio says and echoes the same stuff I do. If you go listen to his press conferences, there's nothing I say that's different than what Vic Fangio says. Bryce Huff, well, he's a work in progress. You know, he's learning to do a lot of new things. He's never played 3-down line. We're trying to get him there. He's not a very good tackler or can't cover, but we think he has the skill to do it, but it's still a work in progress. How good is Nakobe Dean doing? He's doing good. What about the pressure? Well, we'll see. That's why he's bringing more linebacker blitzes. He's trying to come up and be creative in blitzing. Tell me something again that I'm saying different than Vic Fangio. What am I saying different? Hey, get this. If you don't think, get this, look at this. Look how dumb this is. If you don't think Vic will motivate these guys, you're sadly mistaken. You're motivated by your fucking paycheck. You think that I get to the NFL or these players get to the NFL and they need rah-rah guys? What do you think? This is junior football? Or playing high school ball in Nazareth High? What are you talking about? When I get my paycheck direct deposited every Tuesday, that's motivating. Because those paychecks go away. Okay? You're telling me Vic Fangio tells the guys the truth. The truth always motivates. The truth always motivates. Okay? You know why? Hey, you're not getting it done. Shit. Instead of that bullshit you get from Fredo Sirianni. That word salad shit. Vic goes like this. Hey, he's not ready yet. We'll see. So you guys actually think Bryce Huff in a camp is going to be ready for Green Bay and he's going to be some sort of demon tackler and cover guy when he's never been in 6 years? Okay. Magic Vic Fangio's sprinkle dust. Okay. Bob Brown. Bob, do that again if you can, please. Okay? Yeah, okay, dude. Sure. I have no idea what this means. Dan, you sound a little ignorant. I'm not going to lie. Coaches absolutely motivate better than others. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. In pro football, I have no idea what that means. You get motivated by the truth, being told who you are and where you are on the depth chart. That's motivation. When you're second team and you're third team, you're motivated because you're trying to get up the first team. Not because some fucking coach gives you a Newt Rockney speech. Let's win one for the Gipper. How dumb. You make these guys sound like they're 6 years old. Many of these players understand. You're not here for long, dude, if you don't start to improve yourself. Vic Fangio, being honest, is enough motivation for anybody. That's motivation. You're not ready yet. Well, let me go out there and prove him wrong. Okay. Get this. What do you say? Is a major problem in the slot? I don't ever remember anybody saying that when he was in Washington. I never heard that. I think, again, I don't want to dispel the trade. It's good. It's a good move. Holy cow. You guys have to have reach arounds to make yourselves feel better. Some of you do. It's insane how you have to be talked to and talked like a kid. You know, Vic Fangio would have to talk to you like some of you, like a 5-year-old to make you feel better about yourself. You could never be coached by some of these NFL guys. You could never handle Clint Hurt. These guys are in your grill and in your face. That sucks. And here's why. You got your head backside. He's going to slip right up and scoop you up to the linebacker. And he's on the second level and you're backside, play side, and you're getting walled off. Got to get front side. This is a technique deal, dude. Put your freaking head in the 3-hole. Line up in proper technique. And if you don't, you're going to get killed. That's how coaches talk to you. Silz, looked at Dotson's numbers. He averaged 500 yards. I would have kept the third. I don't know, man. 500 yards and what was the numbers? I don't know, man. I think he's a good 3-hole guy. I'm okay with it. Look, here it is. 2022, he had 35 catches. Dude, the entire year, last year, the number 3 wide receiver position had 36 catches. That's already an upgrade. Last year, he had 49 catches for 518. He's around 500 yards. Well, for the 3-hole guy, how many people in here, do me a favor. How about this? How many people in here would love this if this guy Dotson delivered you 49 catches for 560 yards and 7 touchdowns? I'd be fucking over the top with that. That would be an incredible year out of the 3 wide receiver hole with Devontae Smith and AJ on the other side. That'd be insane. It's just preseason. I get it. It means nothing. But just look at who's number 1 in pass defense and total defense, number 4 in rush defense. Just saying. Okay? Look, guys, one more time. Okay? You're looking at this Dotson deal. And hey, by the way, Bob, I get what you're saying. 3rd rounder for 500 yards and 45 catches. How about this, though, Bob? With Devontae Smith and AJ on your team, though. Okay? If that guy, if Jahan Dotson delivers 50 catches, 45 catches, and 550 yards and 5 touchdowns, that's a grand slam for what they want him to do. That would be a grand slam. Grand slam. Okay? Be a grand slam. A good coach is like a good father sometimes. You know, and I appreciate you guys immensely. Holy shit. Don't tell me we're at 225 likes already in the first hour. You guys are mauling it. One more time. I want to start this, or I want to make sure we're in the room here with this. This Dotson deal is perfect for that 3-hole. Did Howie maybe give up a little more on the 3rd pick, like Bob says? I don't think so. Because if you remember what we were saying with Xander. Xander, I think you remember this. I want dependable at wide receiver 3. That's dependable. That's dependable and productive. That's dependable and productive. It's a good deal for both. Hey, love the show, how critical you are of the team. Keep it real. Would you make the trade for Bosa or Hendrickson later in the season by October? I don't believe Cincinnati will be out of it. Bosa, the only problem that I have with Bosa is that his history health always plays into that. Silz, I agree, but for Dotson to get those numbers and touches, either come from Goddard or Bart. We're going to talk. That's the next topic. That's the next topic, Bob. We're going to get into that as well. Absolutely. But, dude, the numbers hey, let's be fair here to Jahan Dotson. Who the fucking quarterbacks in Washington? Sam Howell? Jacoby Brissett? No disrespect, Jacoby. And I like you, but not as a prolific passer. I mean, right? I mean, I don't know. How do you know how good he is? This could be something like, hey, do you know this kid Dotson could actually be something like AJ Brown's numbers? Go back and look at him. Let me show you guys something about AJ Brown in Tennessee. And you tell me if you think these are elite numbers from AJ Brown. I could see Howie looking at it like this. AJ Brown's stats. I want to show you this here. Take a look at this. Do you think this is prolific? Here's AJ's stats when he was in Tennessee. 52 catches, 1,051. Okay, that's 60 yards a game and 50 catches a year. Next one, 70 catches, 1,075. These are Hunter Renfrow numbers. Cole Beasley, 63 catches, 869. Then when he gets to Philly, he's 88 and then 106. What happens if he gets into a good offense, this kid Dotson, and you find out kind of who he is? I'll tell you what it else does. It protects you on injuries. It protects you on an injury. The third rounder, Bob, is more than just the guy's numbers. It's a protection on an injury because the Eagles were lying to you in camp that they like the wide receiver room. They do not. A deal like this proves my point. When they get behind the mic, they lie to the media and you, the fans, every single day. They don't like the wide receiver room, or they wouldn't give up a 3 for him. That's not loving your wide receiver room. That's a lie. Never believe when you hear someone say, we really like the group. It's the cover for Howie. Okay? I'm awake, or you goes 40 points per game, Silz, and you'll surrender 41. I'm at the end of the day here, right? Hey, you probably can. I mean, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. You guys, again, one more time. You guys are killing it. We're gonna get into the other topic because, again, one more time, it doesn't change my opinion of your football team. It does enhance the offense, which means they got to rely on the offense a little more. Hey, you know what else is so good about this deal? You get him in a rookie year. You got a 5th-year option on the kid. And if he turns out to be something you really like, you have control of the kid for the next, 3 years, 4 years? Holy shit. What a great pick for a 3-hole guy. And again, the third round, Bob, is probably twofold for them in how they looked at it. They went like this. Well, yeah, what if one of the guys gets hurt? It's a protection on hurt. And also you're going to get more out of, dude, I know the guy was in the 2-hole in Washington. He wasn't in the 3-hole, so there's going to be less targets over there. Okay? Long sustaining drives cover up poor defensive play. So let me ask you something, Q. You got Saquon Barkley. You got Jahan Dotson. You've got Devontae Smith. You've got A.J. Brown. You really believe they're running the ball? You think they're running the ball? You've got 2 first-rounders now, wide receiver, and Goddard. You really believe they're running the ball? Okay, you really believe that Barkley's going to get $2,000? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get into that next because that ain't happening. Okay? That is absolutely not happening. By the way, guys, we appreciate it. Don't forget, Merrill Reese will join us at 4:30. Xander will join us at 3:30. Please hit the like button. We're so proud to have our friends at BetUS be part of our season coming up, and we are so proud to bring you along. If you guys are looking for a new football house this season, a new book, here it is, BetUS. Guys, your first 125% bonuses will be deposited all the way up until $2,000. 125%. Again, on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000, that's what they're going to do for you, man. Fantastic. Also, 200% in crypto bonuses. This is the home of Michael Vick. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. I'm telling you, if you want your own customized service representative, they'll give you your own account and they'll handle it throughout the entire football season. Live wagers on every single major game this coming season. betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor, tell them Big Silz sent you.
Michael Vick at betus.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.